Everyone, and good morning. This is Road Dog Early Bird coming at you live, probably too early, but never too early, if you know what I mean. So, what I would like to talk about, how is everybody? Pardon my manners. It's always good to inquire. Looks like Valerie Marks has joined us. Welcome, Valerie. She's on a bus to somewhere, and I think she just arrived. Not that that's neither here nor there. It's just in the present, right, Valerie? Right. So, what am I going to talk about today? Well, I looked up on my little phone app about the moon, and on July 23rd, it is going to be completely blacked out. So no more light, which to me, I'm not a aficionado on the symbology of it, but personally, that means the death of an old self and the rebirth of a new self. And in order for something new to come through, just as our moon demonstrates when it turns dark and then begins to become enlightened until it's fully illuminated again. And so what I'm meditating on this week, month, cycle, moon cycle, let's put it that way, is the death of things. Mostly death to my own or form of thinking. In other words, former forms of thinking, because I'm always thinking in terms of the present. I thought that way? Okay. I remember when I used to think that way. Right in the same moment, you can take something that was challenging you or haunting you for 30 years and say, I remember thinking that way. That was silly. Okay, now I'm this. And you just constantly become what you dream you can be. And that's what's going on in my own personal journey, is from the time that I started this adventure with all of you, I've certainly experienced a rapid succession of vicissitudes, because I'm putting in the work, but it doesn't feel like work because I'm having a good time doing what I'm doing. To get personal for a moment, many who follow don't necessarily know the trials I've gone through since the time I've started this, because that's not the point of this interaction. The point is, you always see some crazy road dog who's on some adventure somewhere doing something and coming out the other end illuminated, and the moment I have it, I gotta share it. So it's take two. It is a pleasure and a privilege to be a, you might say, middleman, kind of a shaman who goes to the other side, kind of gets a little chunk of something and brings it back. And I will never claim to have the whole truth, because the truth is changing all the time. And what you think is proper today may be a vice tomorrow. So that lends itself to the fluidity of your own attitude when you're going through all these trials and tribulations. This too shall pass is not just something cool to get tattooed on your body. That's not cool. No tattoos here, just for the record. Sound like a 1950s guy. No tattoos here, for the record. And I have a haircut you could set your watch to. Anyway, where was I? Anywho, allow things to go. Whoever needed to hear that will tell me where I was, or just think, that was useful, and keep going. Rosalie Carrillo has joined. Hello, Rosalie. How have you been? Well, I hope. Okay, so let's get back to my personal life. So, what I've been experiencing, I've been looking at the moon cycles, and as the moon was fully illuminated, I think, okay, here is the idea of me. But I'm going to start chipping away at that idea, and as the moon decreased in its light, thoughts and attitudes and personas that would come up as parts of myself that I've known myself as for so long would come up, and I'd say, okay, do I have to be this person anymore? No. Automatically no. So that leaves the possibility open of, can I be somebody else? Instantaneously, yes, we all can. And we all are. Many of you are doing it right now. Wink, wink. So, the moon has been decreasing in its light, and these former light beams of light, which no longer serve, you know, one day, every light is going to become a shadow to a greater light. So these chunks of light that are being chipped off the moon and chipped off of me are light, but on a different spectrum. It's all the same energy. And so I get to pick which spectrum I get to be on. I always have been. That's the empowering thing. Every circumstance that has ever befallen upon me, I created, I generated. My mom may have put a certain program in there, but it's really still up to me as an individual being who is truly living his own adventure in life to question those programs and even wake up to the idea of questioning those programs. And it took me a hot minute to do that, and I'm glad that it did, because it's all part of the adventure, and I never discredit any of the steps that got me to the point where I'm at, because if it was a fuck up or a disaster, those turned out to be the main elements in a consistent plot, which means that there is something pushing me and is giving me courage every time I fall on my face or I fail at something. I am a huge failure, and I love it, because it is only through failing that a waddling baby is going to figure out how to walk. And everything is a failure. Everything in this world must fail so that it can fall and rise up again and innovate. What did I learn from that fall? Life is a constant fall. But you turn that fall into a voluntary act and you're soaring. So, just a different point of view on the same reality. Anyone have any questions, comments, compliments? All right, well, I think that's going to wrap it up. I'm going to keep it short, sweet, to the point. Meditate. July 23rd, the moon's going to be no more. But it'll come back, just as we all will. So my suggestion to all of you is, as the remaining chunks of light slowly wane from this moon cycle, see what and think about what in your life is no longer serving you, what in your life has kept you stuck in the same routines or cycles or people. And if it takes picking up your ball and your bat and leaving the major leagues to go to your own field of dreams, do it. Because if you build it, they will come. That has no relevance. I just wanted to say that because it's Field of Dreams. Anyway, but yes, go on your own in some way. I'm not saying leave your family or anything like that, but if you have a way to isolate yourself for a certain hour of the day or little moments throughout the day, and just figure out what it is you want and what you could become to get there. And you will find that as you become more of this person that you give your time and attention to, You will no longer feel the need to go out and seek anything, because you'll be in tune with the idea that everything we have is already here and or being attracted to us as we evolve. The people, circumstances, and situations that come to us, that gravitate towards us, reflect our state of mind and how we're either evolving or devolving. But it's all energy, and it is all free will of choice on where you want to be on any spectrum at any time, because you are in all of them all the time. But anyway, I digress. So with that, happy Friday, I believe it is, and Aloha Friday. In Hawaii, everybody wears there are these Aloha shirts every Friday. Even traditionally men do on Friday, but everybody shows like that Aloha spirit, even that extra notch. I don't have an Aloha shirt. I don't need one. The Aloha is in me, so as it is in all of you. Love, peace, chicken grease. Yes, chickens are friends, not food, Valerie. Thank you. Aloha. Road dog. Moon waning. Out. Out. Okay, let's try this again. Out.